The epic collapse of the Arizona Cardinals happens yet again with a promising season with the Arizona Cardinals starting off 7-0 and then 10-2 and then coming crashing down like the trend has been happening for Cliff Kingsbury. Now, there's plenty of blame to go around in this game. We're going to dive into this game, a little deeper. Maybe not this game, but the future of the Arizona Cardinals and what I feel like should be happening moving forward. Let's get started. Roll that intro. What's going on, Arizona sports fan family? We're back at it again with another video here, and I want to definitely talk about this game that we saw, this embarrassment of a game that we saw on Monday Night Football. Primed to be probably one of the best matchups coming into this wild card weekend, and we were absolutely fooled again as fans. Now, let me go ahead and first start off by saying this. I went ahead and made a video at the end of last year saying Cliff Kingsbury should be fired, or I forgot what I labeled it. He's the worst head coach in the NFC West. I don't care what it was. It happened yet again where Cliff Kingsbury seemed uninspired, unprepared, and looked like a deer in the headlights. It's the exact same thing that we saw last year. If you don't want Cliff Kingsbury to get fired, I highly recommend you get off this video right now because I'm going to explain to you what everybody here is trying to say. Now, I do agree with you guys that there's plenty of blame to go around. The offensive linemen look like Swiss cheese. Our wide receiving core looked very, very bad without DeAndre Hopkins. Our run game was non-existent. Kyler Murray looked flustered and didn't seem to get into a groove of things. And I'm not even going to mention, VJ and this defensive, coordinator that we have with Vance Joseph and why we have, defensive linemen going into coverage. It's all a huge, big mess, but it all comes through not finding the answers, what we were told from Cliff Kingsbury here. Now, I don't understand why it takes 6 to 7 weeks of the same stuff over and over again. We don't have the answers. I don't get what's going on. I got to watch the tape. This is what we got to do. And yet we have come into the playoffs scraping by. 11-6 is still a good season. Let me first off by start saying that because I know already people are going to start typing in, Mike, we're getting better. This is exactly what we want. We went from a 5-win team to an 8-win team. Now we're an 11 team. Why are you complaining? Why are you crying? Because in the grand scheme of things, if you really think Cliff Kingsbury is going to be the guy that gave you the Super Bowl ring, then cool. Keep agreeing. Keep giving faith into a guy that has really not done anything for this Arizona Cardinal team other than maybe benefit from having a very, very good roster set up and possibly a Super Bowl winning roster this year around. Me, personally, do I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to get us a Super Bowl ring? I don't. Now, the biggest reason as to why is because he does not have that it factor. He's not the leader of men. When things go bad, when people start punching him in the face, or metaphorically the team, when they get punched in the face, they don't know how to rebound. And that's exactly what we saw in the last 5 to 6 games of the season. That's exactly what we saw in this wild card game. I'm seeing a lot of fans out there saying that the Arizona Cardinals went through so many different injuries that when we lost DeAndre Hopkins, that was one of the biggest focal points in our offense. But we got to stop using that as an excuse, ladies and gentlemen. We have to stop using that as an excuse. There's so many teams that go through injuries. The best teams, the best organizations, the best head coaches are the ones that are able to go ahead and overcome that adversity, change your playbook to make sure that it fits your players on the field. We no longer have that number one wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. Change it up. Make sure the ball is going in your wide receiver's hands, and we do not have that adjustment. That right there is one of the biggest frustrations that we have seen from Cliff Kingsbury so far. Not a leader of men and not able to adjust. I'm happy that we're 11-6, team going into the season, but the way that it happened, starting off 7-0, going to 10-2, and having that big epic crash is the biggest focal point that I want to talk about here. Now, throughout the entirety of the locker room, it's really hilarious to me that a lot of people still have some positivity going into the next season, say, oh, we just beat ourselves. No, duh. We've been beating ourselves for the last 6 to 7 games, and we still haven't been able to figure it out. That right there is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. If you're okay with mediocrity, then we're going to be keeping the same head coach time and time again, but he is not the guy that's going to be getting us the Super Bowl ring. Point in blank. Now, I did watch the post-game show, and of course, Cliff Kingsbury gives us the same crap every single time. I gotta look at the film. I gotta figure out what's going on. But keep in mind that Cliff Kingsbury has been saying this for the last 5 or 6 weeks, and he has not been able to figure it out. So why do we have so much confidence going into next year thinking that he's going to be a different coach? This has been happening since the time he's been a head coach, even before the NFL. So nothing has changed for this man. He is highly paid, and he should not be in this role. Now, I would probably accept getting him a offensive coordinator. We tried to do that last year. He declined it, and now we went back into this year, giving him the opportunity, and he failed us yet again. The Arizona Cardinal fan base, the people that went from Phoenix to LA, put on their Cardinal gear, should get refunded. I doubt it's going to happen, but this was an absolute embarrassment of a show and a performance in what we saw today. So to get the answers like we did in this post game, it tells me that the culture in this, locker room is nothing more than, oh, we checked the box, ladies and gentlemen. We checked the box of the playoffs. We don't have to do very much. Now, I love what J.J. Watt and Christian Kirk has to say. Christian Kirk, I like what he had to say, but his play and his performance has been absolutely utter embarrassment. I don't like what he's done. Yes, he was very close to 1,000 yards. I don't care. J.J. Watt has been real and giving you the real scoop all the time. He said this was an embarrassment play. The Rams beat us. They wanted it more. That's exactly why we lost this game. We were not showing up in this game. Point and blank, and that is going to be the head coach in putting these players in the best position available to win a game. We just granted Matthew Stafford his first playoff win, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in. And it wasn't even a competition. At one point, I believe Odell Beckham Jr. had more yards than Kyler Murray passing the ball. That right there is an absolute embarrassment. Now, we're not going to, have this video end without talking about that offensive line. That offensive line is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. We couldn't protect Kyler Murray to save our lives, and I agree with you there. But as a head coach, what you should have been doing is get another formation out there to put more bodies out there to make sure that you are stopping that defensive line from penetrating your offensive line to give some comfortability to Kyler Murray. And we did not do that. Kept him in the shotgun. Having a run for his life is not the answer. Cliff Kingsbury is not the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts and concerns. I'm absolutely super livid still about that we have fans saying, oh, this is going to be fine. But this is the biggest thing. What I have noticed is most people that are saying that whole scenario that we're fine, we're 5 wins, 8 wins, 11 wins, if they're not very emotionally invested in this team like the diehard fans that have been fans since '88, that's been tired of the same crap that we've been seeing time and time again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this game on this Tuesday so far. Put everything in the comments below. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you. #FireCliff. I'm out.